me a story.
Story. 18 months after the release of For You, Prince released his second album, simply titled Prince. The album was a mix of musical development, some consolidation of his style, and a few glimpses of a number of areas Prince would go on to explore over the next few decades. Some tracks feel very much as if they could have had a home on For You, whilst others are really starting to show Prince's rapidly developing talent and commercial potential. 5 singles were released from this project, and Prince began to tour and to make his very first TV appearances, showing to the world the dichotomy of Prince, a wild, uninhibited performer of both precision and abandon, but also the painfully shy, reclusive, coy enigma of mystery. Once again, this was predominantly a one-man band effort, with Prince playing everything, getting just a little help from Andre Simone, and possibly Bobby Z. Whilst not the huge breakthrough that Prince would experience later in his career, the album was certified platinum in the USA, shipping over 1 million copies. Prince was still at a crucial time in his career, his direction was still open to change, and with this second album in the initial 3-album deal, it was time to show Warner Brothers just what he was capable of, and just how ready he was to have both critical and commercial success.
I ain't got no money.
Clearly a standout track, this song was released as the first single of the project 2 months before the album release. It appeared again on the Hits collection and started both the very best of Prince and the Ultimate collections, which really cements its place as Prince's first widely appreciated hit. It was a song that Prince performed regularly until just a week before the end of his career. This song is pure pop perfection with a striding, jaunty beat. Prince is the desperate lover who cannot compete with the rich guys his crush hangs around with. It's kind of funny, but they always seem to let you down. Prince also pleads, "I want to be the only one you come for." It's almost impossible to think of this song without thinking of the promotional video or the performance on American Bandstand. Prince's image, which was simply unique and a huge part of his overall success, was starting to take form at this moment. It's almost superfluous to state just how crystal clear perfect his falsetto is here. Just listen to the moment at 1 minute 54, "With You I Just Go Wild," where Prince unleashes as powerful a burst of vocal delivery as he has done up until this point.
They say I'm so shy, yeah, but with you I'll just go wild.
One of the fascinating aspects of this track is just how many people are familiar with the song up until around 2 minutes 30, where it then takes a full 3 minutes 20 further of noodling, space-age effects, touches and keyboard stabs and runs. Prince was developing tracks into much fuller length songs, something he would come to the fore with in the album 1999, just a few years later. A hit that has defiantly stood the test of time, and deservedly so.
Why you wanna treat me so bad?
Why You Wanna Treat Me So Bad? This rock track just jumps right out of the gate at you, with its guitar and synth lead line in perfect unison. The music is upbeat, fast and sweeps you along in a guitar synth falsetto hurricane. It's mainly a Prince one-man band effort, but Andre Simone provides some backing harmony vocals, although uncredited on the album sleeve notes. Also check out the video that sees Andre playing the famous cloud bass guitar. The lyrics see Prince being done wrong by his lover and nursing a broken heart. There's some talk going round town that you really don't give a damn. They say you really put me down when I'm doing the best I can. I gave you all of my love. I even gave you my body. Tell me, baby, ain't that enough? What more do you want me to do? Setting lyrics like this to uplifting and upbeat music is something Prince would return to over and over during his career, and some of his most uplifting pieces of music have heartbreak, sadness, or even anger at the core. Think of Do Yourself a Favour, or I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man as an example. Prince's falsetto vocals are again flawless, and he gets real frustration out in some especially high notes. Check out 2 minutes and 9. The track ends with a blistering guitar solo that always fades out too soon, every time you hear it. Just superb.
A word of warning with this one. If you listen to the bass, you will never be able to hear anything else, because this bass hook is simply one of the best Prince ever laid down. It is pounding, hot, sticky bass and a genuine club pleaser. The rising keyboards fused with Prince's hot, panting sexuality make this track outstanding. It was released as the third single, but only in Japan and the UK, and also became a big DJ favourite in the US. At 1 minute 30, Prince just descends into thrusting, sexually charged, heavy breathing, combined with an addictive chicken grease guitar, which would become a Prince motif forevermore. Prince then builds up the track again until around 3 minutes 28, where a keyboard piano medley comes to the fore. This is the jam that could easily last for 2 minutes or 2 days.
Close and slow.
When We're Dancing, Close and Slow. Here we have Prince's first attempt at the seduction ballad, something he would become famous for during his long career. Right from the beginning, the whole feel of this track, from the vocal delivery to the instrumentation, is delicate and seductive, and quite beautiful. Prince almost whispers the lyrics as though he's whispering in his lover's ear, and the lyrics are pretty explicit in places, with Prince saying, "I want to come inside of you. I want to hold you when we're through. Can't you feel my love touching you?" Underpinning the track is a booming bass, which feels as though it's acting as every driving, lustful thrust. There are also some synth effects that come in near the end, swirling around you as though the climax was being reached, added with some delicate finger-picking acoustic guitar. This is truly music to make love to. Turn off the lights, light some candles, burn some incense, and let Prince take you there.
Interestingly, this track has its origin during a session which produced One Man Jam, If You Feel Like Dancing, I Feel For You, Thrill You or Kill You, and Andre Simone's version of Do Me Baby, and has also been covered by Jill Jones on her album. This is a track that I think deceives you in that it begins relatively sedately and follows a very gentle rhythm, which can, at times, not stand out, and then just as you feel you have the song worked out, the last 30 seconds Prince lifts the vocals into a much more interesting climatic denouement. It may not be enough to save the song entirely, and it suffers a little from being rather generic in feel, but it also suffers in comparison to the other songs on the album, notably the next one.
Bambi. Wow, this incredible rock jam just burst out of the gate with driving, dirty guitars, drums and bass, and Prince pushing his falsetto further than any track so far, especially during the chorus. Just listen to the way he cries out, Bambi.
Bambi.
Lyrically, this is about Prince being done wrong by his lover, but not with another man, but a woman. I knew from the start that I loved you with all my heart, but you were untrue. You had another lover, and she looked just like you. Prince is desperate to prove that only a man can satisfy her properly. All your lovers, they look just like you, but they can only do the things that you do. Come on, baby, and take me by the hand. I want to show you what it's like to be loved by a man. This whole track is just dirty, driving rock, and as Prince continues his desperate pleas, it leads to the risky line. Bambi, I know what you need. Bambi, maybe you need to bleed. The track finishes with a blistering guitar solo, with some pleading, soaring, screeching high notes, just leaving you breathless by the time the track fades out. A true highlight of this sophomore album.
Prince really mixes it up with the running order on this album, and after Bambi he lets us relax a little with his fascinating ballad. I think this song really lifts itself above most ballads on this album, and has some touches of the Prince classic How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, with its piano run, stripped down musicality and crescendoing vocals. Prince's vocals play, call and respond with the piano and lift higher and higher as the track progresses, and around 3 minutes 15 they really hit the heights. This is the third single and doesn't suffer at all, being sandwiched between two very iconic tracks. One of the many joys of being a Prince admirer is when you surprise people who only know this as the Shaka Khan song from 1984. Indeed, it was the first Prince song I ever actually heard, although I was still 5 years away from knowing who Prince actually was. In this original version, it is a very simple, upbeat and well-constructed pop classic with some truly original and perfectly worked lyrics. Baby, baby, when I look at you, I get a warm feeling inside. There's something about the things you do that keeps me satisfied. I wouldn't lie to you, baby, it's mainly a physical thing. This feeling that I got for you, baby, it makes me wanna sing. I feel for you. I think I love you. The keyboard riff is instantly an absolute earworm, and once in your head will simply never leave. It was interesting to see this track resurface in 1984, a stellar year for Prince, and it is also worth noting that in the UK, Prince has actually had 2 number ones for other artists, with I Feel For You and Nothing Compares To You, alongside his solo success with The Most Beautiful Girl in the World.
Don't you know it's gonna be lonely?
The album closes with yet another heartbreak ballad from Prince, but one of his best thus far. The track is full of little synth effects going on in the background. Just listen to the continuing sound Prince uses in the verses that seems to build and then fade and then build again, like the tide sweeping in and out. The lyrics see Prince dealing with his insecurities and fear of losing the one he loves. We've been together for quite some time. I think by now you'd know. It'd take forever to get you off my mind, if ever you decide to go. I guess I got a little insecurity when it's concerning you. I guess I'm just afraid that if you ever leave, I'd be in a messed up state of blue. Prince, clearly infatuated with this girl, goes on to sing, whatever's in your kiss really turns me on right out of my mind. And who could ever resist your accent from Gay Paris? It gets me every time. The chorus features guitars and synths and has these moments when it just pauses for a moment while Prince's vocals take centre stage, which really works well and continues to the end of the track, with one having a cool little drum roll too. All in all, a strong end to an excellent second album.